I am going to rank my cars in the past 7 years. We have 11 of them, and we're gonna go ahead and start. With number 11 coming in at the Honda S800. This car was the biggest mistake. It was a complete scam. I bought a car from all the way across the world, I think Austria or something like that, and we had it shipped. You know, we watched it go through the Panama Canal. It got to California, then we had it shipped over here, and the engine was in pieces, and it was a hot mess. Well, these cars were never imported in America, so there wasn't any extra cars I could just go buy, and the community was just a bunch of these like older guys, which is fine, but they were just really weird. Wasn't a fan at all. And if you wanted extra parts, you had to get it from some guy from Germany. It was a complete hot mess. I sold it to one of the NSX guys I met, and for a great deal because we put a lot of money into it. But that was the worst car we have owned in the past 11 or 7 years. Number 10 is the Mercedes-AMG GTS. Now, this car probably looked the best out of most cars. I would say it ranks the top 3 for how it looks. But as far as the experience and the driving experience in the car, it's cool. But the thing about Mercedes, and I'm just gonna be straightforward with you, it doesn't feel reliable. Like, I didn't feel reliable with that car, not even for a second. And of course, it gave me issues. I had to put lower control arms and I had to replace coil packs, and it just felt like I couldn't get into this car and drive across the country because it would leave me stranded. I never had confidence in it, and the driving experience is cool. Like, you know, it sounds fun, but it isn't really my taste because the way that it's set up with the long hood and everything, it kind of felt almost like a very long front wheel drive car, but not. It's really hard to describe, but it was one of those cars that looked amazing, but I wasn't the biggest fan. The interior was cool, the exterior was cool, like everything about the car was cool, and it was pretty quick, but I just never felt comfortable with the car, if that makes sense at all. Number 9 is the RX-7. Now, I think the RX-7 would definitely be in the top 3. I honestly think it's an amazing car, and the way that it ranks really has nothing to do with the car itself as far as how it drives and everything, because once I got it running, I loved it, and I love rotary engines. But when I got it, the car was a barn find, and a lot of people think that barn finds are cool, but they're not, because this car was mint condition. Like, it literally was mint. It could have gone on Bring a Trailer and sold a ton because everything about the car was perfect, but because it sat, it had so many issues, so many things needed to be fixed, and I spent so much time. And you know, I was driving the car in the mountains and it overheated, and we had to like stop every like mile and put water in it. That was a disaster. And then when the lines blew and it dropped oil all over my neighborhood, that was a complete disaster. And then I had to do a bunch of fixing. And I am one of the only guys, I think there's another guy on the internet, who did a full video how to diagnose the rat nest. And if you're an RX-7 guy and a rotary guy, the rat nest is all the vacuum lines. It's insane. I actually dove deep into it, and I made a video about that. And that was actually cool. Like, it's really cool to be able to say I did that, especially with this car and that community. So I would say that the community for the RX-7 is number 1 as far as how they appreciate my videos. Those guys are awesome. They're always happy, and they're always telling me they're happy about the videos we made for the RX-7. But my experience with it, because of all the engine problems and everything, all the things I had to fix, I put it all the way down there. So then we have the R33. I love the R33, but the problem is that people don't understand, and I mean, I'm preaching here, but I think cars are always connected to the way that you feel and your memories and everything. And I feel that I had an R33 GTS, and I just had so much more fun, and I just had better memories, and I just had a greater time with this car. And of course, the GTS is rear-wheel drive. It's got the RB25, and this car, I drove it all over the country, and it was so reliable, and it was amazing. And the R33 was like 4 times as expensive, and I felt like it was also giving me a few problems. You know, it caught on fire once, and but the thing about it is I always wanted to experience the RB26, and it is a cool engine. Like, think about an engine that came out of the factory with individual throttle bodies. I know you Toyota guys are like, oh yeah, our 4A GE, blah, blah, blah. No, we're talking about a twin turbo inline 6 with individual throttle bodies. It is an incredibly cool engine. I love that part. And I also love that I bought a ton of exhaust and I tried them all. It was super cool. So having that experience was amazing. And I love the R33, but when it comes to these other cars, it definitely placed at number 8. Number 7 is the 991.1911, the car that I just sold. That car is amazing, and that is a gentleman's car. And I think I'm definitely gonna get one maybe when I'm older, but I feel like it's one of those cars that is just classy, it sounds amazing, it does a lot, but I really think that Porsche strived to build the most perfect balanced sports car. And right now, in my age and my personality, I like crazy. Like today, I was with the Ford ST listening to Limp Bizkit, flying through traffic, cutting people off. That's the type of person I am. And I think the 991.1 isn't one of those cars that really fits that personality. It's an amazing car. It does everything right. It's just, for me, that's where it ranks. The Ford Focus ST. Think about how many cars this $10,000, $15,000 car is on top of. This is literally one of the best cars I've ever owned in my life. And I actually had it higher, but I felt like you guys would like break in and punch me in the face if I put it higher. But like, this is literally one of my most favorite cars I've ever owned because it's inexpensive. It's a manual turbocharged car and it's so much fun. Is there any drawbacks? It's front wheel drive, so it does a little bit of scrolly things sometimes, and it's kind of weird. I'm not a fan of that. But besides that, it is an incredible car. I just ran a ton of errands, drove, cut people off. I'm telling you, this is literally one of the best cars I've ever owned in my life, and it's made me so happy. And trust me, it's an amazing car. All right, number 5, the NA1. Oh, I owned the NA1 for 6 years, and I loved it. Everything I love about the NA1, I can reflect it to the 991.1 NSX. Like, they built the NA1 to be a driver's car, but they also refined it. It's a little soft, it's very comfortable, but the thing about it, it's fun. It's still, I feel like Acura even did what I think Porsche should have done. It just made it a little bit more exciting, but in the same time, people don't realize that these cars are hella slow. Like, I would get dusted by minivans all the time. Like, I wouldn't race anyone because I couldn't win a race in an NSX. Like, it's literally one of the slowest cars. I mean, my ST would probably smoke it 10 times over because the NA1 is so slow, but that's okay because the way it is and the way everything about the NA1 is very special. And I know you could supercharge it, turbocharge it, nitrocharge it, you could do all this stuff, but the NA1's one of those amazing cars that you just love driving. And I think it's super special, honestly. I really love the NA1. That's why I kept it so long. And that's why it ranks so high, in my opinion. It's up there. All right, number 4 is the McLaren 12C. Let me tell you, owning a proper supercar, and this is a proper supercar. Let me tell you, when it came out, Ferrari and Lamborghini did what all these other countries do when they infiltrate our politicians and they infiltrate our media and everything, and that's spread lies. And they spread lies because McLaren was stepping into the arena with Ferrari and Lamborghini and saying, oh, the 12C has a bunch of problems, blah, blah. I'm sure some of that's true, right? Maybe 5, 10, 50, 20% of it. But I own that McLaren. I drove it everywhere and I loved it. It was amazing and it was trouble-free and it was one of the coolest, craziest, fastest cars I ever had. And owning a McLaren was really neat. It looked amazing. It was amazing. I think the entire experience was incredible. And honestly, just to give you an idea how fast it is, like, I honestly think that if you drag race the 12C versus the NA1 and SX, it would literally be a mile ahead by the time you're done. Like this thing was a complete rocket ship, crazy fast. So it was an amazing experience, and that's why it is literally number 4. Number 3, the Porsche GT4. I mean, flat 6, it's a manual transmission. It looks amazing. Carbon ceramic rotors. An amazing car for an amazing value. If you're looking for a dedicated sports car, I can't recommend anymore. Now, the GT4s unfortunately do come with a lot of things you need to know before you buy them. The strut towers blow up and the transmission blows up. In third gear, like a Honda, gets all jacked up. But besides that, I mean, it's got the same engine as the 991.1 that I just had, and it's literally just an amazing little race car. And to be honest with you, my next car I'm planning to get, if life goes well. If it doesn't, then it's just a pipe dream, but I would love to have a GT4 RS. And that's why it is number 3. Number 2, the Toyota Supra. OMG, why is it number 2? It's definitely slower than a lot of these cars. It's a grand touring car. It's not even a real proper sports car. It's a grand tour. A lot of people realize when I had the Supra, they're like, oh my gosh, some guys are like, it's a grand tour. I'm like, yeah, I tell everybody it's a grand tour because a grand tour is just a sports-like car that you could, drive everywhere. And I love the Supra. There's no car in the history of my life that I drove. I drove around cross country like 5 times in this freaking car, and it never let me down. I took apart the engine, put it back together myself, pretty much, the top end, and timing belts and valve guides and turbos and all this exhaust and everything, all by myself. And you know, it was so easy to use and it looked sexy and people loved it and I liked how it drove, and it was just a great car, and it was my first dream car that I got. So to me, it's amazing. Number 1 is the NC1. This is a full-blown supercar, first hybrid supercar too, which is amazing. This car is about 600 horsepower, it's beautiful, and the fact that we bought it for $117,000 when it sold for $197,000, I think it's still the best bargain. I've driven all the other cars around that range, the Audi R8 or the Lamborghini Gallardo or the Lamborghini or the Ferrari 360 or 458 or 430. All those cars are absolute trash compared to this car. And they all know, everybody knows it. Jay Leno said it, I didn't say it. The guys from Daily Driven Exotic said, hey, you driving an NSX, what do you think about it?
This NSX is cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
But I do wonder what his thoughts are on the NSX.
Gentlemen, what's up?
How do you like the NSX?
It's nice, it's okay.
Yeah, that's car number 3.
You know, it's very good. It's the best made car I've ever driven. Beautifully built.
Anyhow.
Is this your Lambo?
I know you guys are probably like, he says that for every car, like Doug DeMuro is always like saying, oh my gosh, this is amazing, or like this or whatever. But I'm telling you right now, the NC1 is absolutely incredible, and that's why it lands at number 1. It's the fastest pretty much. I think the McLaren's a little bit faster in brute acceleration, top speed, but this car, I didn't feel safe going that fast in the McLaren, but this one does everything. And for the price, you get a proper supercar, and you can never beat that. You get a super car for that price. And that's why it ranks number 1 for me, because I think it's the best value, best performing car, and honestly, one of the nicest cars I've ever owned. All right, guys, that is my list.